All right, go ahead, Kev.
All right. What's going on, Dodgers fans? Kevin Incline here. Hope you guys are doing well this week. We're excited to bring you this awesome guest for this episode on the Incline Dodgers podcast. You know him very well now because he's a Los Angeles Dodgers outfield. I got to do this over. I'm half awake. Let me get pumped. All right. What's going on, Dodgers fans? Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Incline Dodgers podcast. We're very excited this week because we are joined by an awesome guest. We're very thankful that he's joining us. He plays for your Los Angeles Dodgers. He's an outfielder. He made his major league debut earlier this season, and he's been tearing it up in the minors. We're so grateful to be joined by James Outman. James, thank you so much for joining the Incline this week.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
So I'm going to be honest. My infatuation grew with you during spring training, entering the 2021 season. I didn't really know who you were. I saw you make some incredible catches in the outfield. You had multiple doubles. I believe you even had a triple. You easily became my first question to you, James, is you got 29 home runs across AA and AAA, 102 RBIs. You even have one at the major league level, which we'll get into in a little bit. What has been your biggest adjustment this season versus past? Because I don't know if you were really a power hitter up until this season.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of adjustments, honestly, just building my at-bat quality, learning from all these guys, learning from the experiences I've had, obviously building my swing. But in terms of physical adjustments, compared to last year, there haven't been too many, just maybe minor tweaks here and there. But I would say the biggest thing is not being too focused on what my swing has been looking like. Just more so like, does it feel right? Am I on time? And am I swinging at good pitches? And I think, if I'm able to do that, then the rest will take care of itself.
James, you talked about changing your swing a little bit. And from what we've seen from you, not only at the major league level, but at the minor league level, is you have a very short, compact swing, which is kind of unusual for a left-handed hitter. Usually, the lefty's got that long looping swing, but you've kind of shortened it, and it's very compact, straight to the ball. How was it adjusting to that type of swing? And obviously you found success with it.
Yeah. I mean, if you asked me last year what it looked like, I would have told you it's like big movements, and a big swing. Obviously just by looking at it, it's a little bit smaller than that. But I couldn't tell you why I swing like that, but that's just the way that feels comfortable. That's the way I'm able to get in the zone the best. A lot of good hitting coaches that I've had, they kind of preach having a good hand path, getting in the zone deep, and then, being able to stay connected all the way through. Sorry. So, maybe that combined with maybe my hips are a little tight or something like that, just the way that my body moves. It's just kind of the way that it is. Honestly, I've never really thought about that. I never thought it was compact until I heard people saying it was when I debuted.
Earlier this season, not too long ago, you had 2 cycles in a 4 or 5 day span, including
Insane.
a walk-off home run. What got into you?
So I was out for a couple weeks. I got hit by a pitch in the foot and my toe was broken. But I spent a lot of that time like looking at my swing since I couldn't take at bats or anything. So I just spent a lot of time making sure everything was like dialed in as possible while I was rehabbing. So I think when I came back, I was really excited to make sure, not make sure, but I was really excited to, put that to practice. And, I think there's some good adjustments, and, I just got hot and I couldn't tell you how the two cycles happened. I hit one in high school, but the single was questionable. I thought it was an error, but they gave it to me. But yeah, I don't know. Just I was seeing the ball well and just trying to hit the ball hard, not trying to do too much.
I have a question about looking at tape, because a lot of, players will study their swing before, during the game, even on the iPads, they're studying the swing, they're studying the pitchers. You said you had a lot of time to look at your swing to get dialed in. How much are you thinking about that when you get to the plate, or when you get to the plate, that kind of goes away and you're just, in the batter's box?
Yeah, it mostly goes away. I'm just looking at it while I'm training. So like while I'm in the cage or doing stuff like that. Maybe before I go hit, I'll go look at it and just be like, okay, what's it look like? What did it feel like? And then just kind of combine the two of those and be like, okay, I need to do this today in the cage. And so then that'll just kind of be my thought process. Or while I'm looking at video, I'll be like, was I even on time for this pitch? Am I swinging at good pitches? I feel like it's mostly that. And then if those two are right, then I'll look at my swing.
What I've noticed this season there's been a number of MLB vets compared to years past playing at the AAA level, including Kevin Pillar, Edwin Rios. I don't know if you crossed paths with Jake Lamb, but when he was with the Dodgers, did any of them, or any unnamed vets that I just threw out there, or even at the major league level, were any of them specifically mentoring you this season?
So Pilar just got to us because he's rehabbing. I wasn't up in AAA yet to play with him. Same with Lamb. Kind of same with the Rios too. I played with Rios since like August now, but honestly, our hitting coaches, we have Brett Pill in AA and Manny Burris in AAA. Both big leaguers, both have a lot of experience. I would say that I would bounce things off of them a lot more. And then, once I got to AAA, the age increased a lot. So a lot of guys I was playing with had a lot of experience, a lot more than me. So I, just kind of observed them, I feel like, just because they got a lot of that batch under their belt, and they, they've been through the ringer. So I just kind of tried to absorb as much as I could from them. But in terms of mentorship, I would say it was more the hitting coaches.
I want to take you back to your MLB debut, end of July, and before you get to your first at bat, which I want to talk about. What was it like walking into that clubhouse for the first time? Obviously, there's a lot of pressure when a rookie comes in. You've got the backstage Dodgers crew following you around. Your family's there. There's a lot of hype. What was that like walking into that clubhouse? And similarly to what Kevin asked you before, were there any veterans in that clubhouse that kind of like welcomed you in, or kind of showed you the ropes when you first got there in Colorado?
Yeah, so I was fortunate enough to have played spring training with them. So I was able to spend 2 springs now with a lot of those guys and kind of get to know them. My first spring training, I was terrified. But it turns out they're all good guys. So, I knew that going into my second spring training. So I'd talk to them a little bit. So by the time that I got there, I felt like I kind of knew them a little bit, obviously, as well as you can know them for the weeks that I was there. But I mean, I was asking Will Smith a lot of questions. I was asking everybody a lot of questions, actually.
What were some of the questions you were asking?
Just more along the lines of like, what should I be doing, like, as the new guy? All this stuff. I remember before my first game, Muncie was joking around with me, telling me that, like, just so you know, it's a completely different game now. And it's, but what he was really saying was, like, it's the same game. So just do whatever you've been doing your whole life.
That's awesome. So, all right, you're in the clubhouse, you're getting ready for the game. You go up to the plate for your first at bat. Obviously we know it was a home run, but just walk us through that. Cause that, you know, I had heard on the I believe on the Backstage Dodgers clip that you said that you kind of blacked out or something, like it was just kind of like a blur to you when you hit that ball and you were rounding the bases. But can you kind of walk us through that at bat and what happened?
Yeah, so get in the box, running on first base. First pitch is a fastball, kind of like, it's not up, but it's elevated, about middle of the way, and I missed under it. I was a little late. So I was like, okay, Marquez kind of has a quick arm. I gotta treat this like it's a little bit harder. Next pitch, fastball again. Umpire called it low. So it's 1-1, and now I'm thinking, okay, like I could probably get anything here. I'm just gonna be on the fastball because I don't know what his other stuff even looks like, so there's no point in sitting on it. So I was looking for another fastball, and I got one, and I was just trying to be as relaxed as I could be. Before I went up there, I was just telling myself, just relax, 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 because I knew I was gonna have a lot of nerves. But yeah, I mean, hit it, and I was like, oh, I think that's gone, and then I just rounded bases, and I feel like in the very moment I was treating it like, it was just another day at the field. Obviously I knew it wasn't, but I was just trying my best to treat it like it was a home run that I was hitting in AA or something like that.
Yeah, when you hit that home run, I fell out of my chair because my Wi-Fi is a little spotty, so I don't know if you heard me, but there's been no Dodgers prospect or rookie that I've been more hyped for than you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, not only the debut, but you ended up hitting 462 at the major league level, 6 for 13, 1400 OPS. I mean, you were on fire. What is it like though when relatively speaking, that your time may be limited at the major league level, at least when you first came up, and you're tearing it up, and then you get the news that you have to go back down? What is that like? I mean, is it kind of just like this is the business, this is what happens? But I imagine that, when you're going pretty good, you want to keep going, you want to stay at the major league level. So was that a disappointment to you when you first got sent down?
I wouldn't say it was a disappointment because I knew guys were coming off rehab, so there's no reason to be disappointed over it if the writing was on the wall. I just wanted to do my best to kind of keep me in their mind, so to speak. But there's no reason to be upset. Once it gave me the news, I was like, okay, like I feel like I learned a lot in this 1 week, so I can put this to practice, be able to play every single day in AAA. So, obviously I wasn't happy that I got sent down, but I was excited to be able to work on what I learned.
I got a few random questions to kind of get to know you better. First off, what's one of your favorite things to eat?
Yeah, we'll go with that first because Kevin's internet. What was it? What's one of your favorite things to eat? What do you like to grub on?
Ooh, I eat a lot of different things. I eat a lot of different foods, different styles. I would say,
what's your go-to?
I think if I had sushi every single day of my life, I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't get sick of it.
I agree with that.
Yeah, my rule is for myself that I only want to eat sushi like if I'm kind of near the water.
Yeah, you don't want some of that inland sushi. You don't know where it's coming from. You don't know how long it took to get there. I get that.
Yeah.
Lot of good sushi.
Sometimes I can't. Oh yeah. Sometimes I can't help myself. I'm like, okay, I want some sushi. But yeah, sushi. I love Chinese food. I love all foods. That's a really tough question, but I'm gonna say sushi as of right now. But
Solid.
That'll probably change tomorrow.
Who was a favorite player of yours growing up, or even more recently?
I mean, grew up going to Giants games, so I was watching Barry Bonds all the time. So that one's an easy one. But I remember when I was a kid, I really liked Ray Durham for some reason. Just
Great
switch
player.
hitter. Yeah, switch hitter, second baseman. I played infield at the time when I was like 8. Um, so I really liked Ray Durham. I'm gonna go with one of those two. Yeah, for sure.
If I could just step in, because growing up a Giants fan and then playing for the Dodgers, did that when you when you joined the Dodgers, did that thought cross your mind? Was it a little weird, or how did you feel about the Dodgers prior to joining them?
Honestly, like once I got to high school, I just became more of a baseball fan in general, as opposed to like growing up a Giants fan or all this. So by the time I was done with college, I was happy to be playing anywhere. And looking back at it now, I'm really glad that uh, I did play for the Dodgers because who knows, maybe I wouldn't have developed the way that I did through the minor leagues.
And then you got to play against the Giants, so that must have been really cool. I mean, it was at Oracle Park, so like, what was that kind of a thrill for you to face the team you grew up watching?
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool being on the field level. Uh, the only time I had been was when I was 10 years old and got to run the bases after a day game.
Nice.
Uh, so it was cool to see it from a different perspective for sure. But I was going in there trying to just be focused on my business, doing my job. But it was cool because I had a lot of friends and family able to come to the game and see me play. A lot of them for the first time, so it was cool.
Sick. You got any more, Kev?
Yeah, our co-host David Rosenthal wanted to know who's been the toughest pitcher you've faced so far at the minor league level. It might be someone that general fans aren't familiar with, whether he's a prospect for another team.
Ooh, I'm trying to think to this year. There's been a lot of guys where I come back into the dugout and I'll just tell somebody, I'll be like, yeah, I don't want to face that guy again.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Not Herman Marquez though.
Oh, he was tough. He got me my second at bat. His curveball is good.
Yeah.
But man, I'm sorry I'm taking so long. I'm trying to give you guys a good answer.
That's quite all right.
Good.
There was a lot of guys on the Amarillo Sod Poodles that I thought were tough. They were Diamondbacks. Jarvis, I think Bryce Jarvis is his name. He always gave me a tough time. He would front door this changeup that was really tough to swing at. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but it was a good pitch. Yeah, I would put him up there. Casey Legumina, I think is his last name. I'm sure I butchered that. With the Twins, he's got electric stuff. I always felt like I had to be super locked in to face him. Yeah, to be honest, it's day by day. Like sometimes I'll just face like a random, not random, but like I'll just face a guy that I don't know, and I'll be like, oh my god, he was nasty. If this continues and I think of somebody, I'll bring him up. But
For sure.
I face a lot of nasty guys.
I'm gonna ask you about your name real quick because it's a great baseball name, and obviously everyone is having fun with it. Whether you make a great catch in the outfield, or you keep getting base hits, you can't get him out, man, and all that stuff. When you were growing up playing this game, obviously you probably heard that kind of stuff all the time. Does it get old, or is it kind of like, a fun thing for you when people kind of, associate your last name with baseball?
It's cool. Sometimes, if I'm on the road and it's just nonstop, it's like, guys, I've been hearing this since I was 16 years old. Like, you're not, like, they would be like, oh, get out, man. And then everyone would start busting up laughing. Like, that's the oldest joke I've ever heard.
Yeah, not original, guys.
Yeah. Sometimes there are original ones. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but they'll have like an original one. I'll think it's kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. It'd be better if I was a pitcher, because then I'm the outman. But
right.
So I feel like I've had to spend a lot of energy making myself not be the outman.
That's good.
Yeah, when Ryan Pepio joined us a few weeks ago, he definitely spoke greatly of you. So we already knew how great of a player you were, but it's cool to hear a pitcher like Ryan Pepio speak so fondly of you.
I hate facing Pepio. He's nasty.
How often have you faced him? Like in simulated games or stuff like that?
Yeah, like spring training when we're doing sim games, or live at bats or something. He's just an uncomfortable at bat. It's really uncomfortable.
His stuff moves like no one's business.
Yeah, it does. And he can throw anything for a strike, throws hard. He's good.
Yeah. Got a final question from me. I want to talk a little bit about music, and I like asking players about their walk-up songs. What I don't remember. Well, you didn't end up playing a home game with the Dodgers, so
no.
But I'm curious, what would have been your walk-up song had you played at Dodger Stadium this year?
So my walk-up song all year was Jungle by Andre Nicotina. He's a Bay Area rapper.
Cool.
I would be playing a lot of his music when I would be jumping rope with my my strength coach during the off season. And my strength coach was big in on, just saying like jumping rope is like good for your mind, like your timing, your athleticism. So I kind of just carried that into hitting at the same time, because I saw a lot of correlations, and I've just been rolling with that. And I feel like since I'm from the Bay, I should choose something Bay Area rapper or something like that. So I've been liking it.
Cool, man.
All right, James. Well, we really appreciate your time. My last question for you is, anytime during your minor leagues career, did you face a pitcher who's well known at the major league level, rehabbing, or like WTF?
I think my first at bat off a big leaguer was in 2019. Montgomery from the Cubs was rehabbing. I think that was the first big leaguer that I faced where I was like, okay, like this is my test. Yeah, it was in low A too at the time, but Montgomery was the first one. I faced Flaherty last year while he was rehabbing. Same with Michaelis in the same week, actually. We faced Michaelis twice, which sucked, but faced both of them when we were in Springfield. I think those were the two biggest names that I've faced as rehabbers in the minor leagues.
Awesome. Well, James, thanks so much for joining us, man. This was awesome. We've marveled at your career so far. It's been electric. The two cycles were insane. Your major league debut is insane, and I think a lot of Dodgers fans are clamoring to see you back up at the big league level. So we're really pulling for that, and can't wait to see what you do next year as well.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I'm excited to be a Dodger, and hopefully I can make that happen.
Exactly. We are too.
Yeah, thank you so much, James. You're killing it. Keep it up. Looking forward to you in 2023. I expect really big things. I have no doubt because you have the talent.
Thank you, guys.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, take it easy.